Hello. Today, I'll be showing you another code. This code is about football. You may have noticed that in the past three videos, where I made tic-tac-toe, I made snake game, and I made pong game, I mentioned to you that I was following a tutorial from Coding with Russ. And he was like, following tutorials all the time isn't really that healthy, so I wanted to make my own game. So using the logic and using the skills that I've learned in from the past three videos, I wanted to make a new game, my own game. And I thought making football would be perfect for this. I already knew how to control uh, objects around the screen, and I knew about object-oriented programming, and I knew how to control a ball from the Pong game. So using those skills, I could very easily make football. This code isn't exactly complete yet. Most of it is, the end game isn't. Actually, a major part that is moving the ball around the court, I really don't know how to do that because I can only do that in a horizontal line right now. And I don't know, I have to think about it. It's also really tempting to just go to an AI and ask it to fix my code, but in avoiding that as much as possible because I want to do this by myself. And I want this code to be written all by myself. It's already 200 lines long and I still haven't finished it, but let me show you most of how it works. This is where I declare the screen size and all the other things in the screen. These are all the colors that I've defined. And you know why we need an FPS clock from the past codes. These are just game variables. You don't really need to know that about that right now. This is what you need, a draw field function. This is what draws the field for my football game, basically the court. I wanted the court to be a patch of green or a patch of dark green and a patch of light green, like a really nicely mowed lawn. And I achieved it by first filling it with a dark green screen right here. This just fills the entire screen with dark green. And then I basically used a for loop and in an interval of even numbers, basically, I make a rectangle of right green. I used pygame to draw a rectangle, and this creates a patch of light green around the court, and so it looks patchy between the light green and dark green. These are for the borders. I use rectangle where it isn't filled, so it just makes a border around the whole court. These circles are what a if this is the main circle at the center. And this is the line that passes through the circle. Hold on, let me show you how it is. All right, so yeah, this is a code for the circle that you'll see right here, and this line draws this main line here. Now this arc here, right here, was actually really hard to draw because I didn't really know what to do. I later learned that using an arc, I can just make a semicircle, a quarter of a circle, or anything I preferred by using pi, basically, which is why I have pi here defined, so that I could use them here. Um, this function draws the ball. I actually used object-oriented because I wanted to make it easy for myself. This function draws the ball, and you'll notice that most of it is already commented out. And that's because I couldn't make a complex ball. I wanted a ball with like patterns in the middle, and when the ball was moving, I would move the patterns around so that it looked like a moving ball. But that was really hard. So right now it's really just a circle at the center. Let me show you. This is the ball right now. Right now it's not moving. I'll show that to you later on. This is what moves the ball, and it only moves if the ball is live. This is the same concept that we used in a Pong game. However, right now there's really nothing that can turn it true. It's just perpetually false right now because I just declared it as false here, and there's really nothing that sets this value to true. So for now, the ball doesn't move. However, I can show you what happens when the ball moves around by commenting out this line. I'll show that to you later. Let's look. This is what checks the collision for the ball and the players. Just collision with the rectangle, the same concept that we used in Pong game. And this is the, or at least I've attempted to increase the speed of the ball. However, I haven't really done that. This returns winner or who won the game by basically taking the collision of the ball with which side of the wall it has detected. If it collided with the right side, one player wins, and if it collided with the left side, another player wins. This is for the players, right? And I decided to make the players really simple. All right, the ball is moving. So as you can see, the ball can also collide with the players. And if you look at the players, I've decided to color them blue and red, which is why when drawing the player, there should be something called player color right here. And this is what we send to the function as an argument directly while making the player object. Uh, as you can see, we have a move player function, and I have an if-else statement for a self.num. This is basically to distinguish between the players, right? So if it's player one, then player one moves with WASD, which is done through this code. And if it's player two, which we use self.num is equal to 2, then we use the up, down, and right, left keys to move that player. And here's where we have created all of the objects. And this is the main function. Now let's run the code and I'll show you how the player can move around. Uh, as you can see, I can move the red player around with the arrow key, and WSD can move this player around. If I take both of the players around, the ball just collides with the wall of the court. I haven't really made that work at all. And yeah, he can just move around. The ball can collide with I don't know what this is, by the way. Glitches out sometimes. I don't know why that happens. I think it's because the ball is moving inside the player, which shouldn't happen. I think I'll have to access the collision for the ball and the player for that. But yeah, right now both the players can move around the whole court and the ball can move around in a horizontal direction. I'll need to add in functions to help it move around the court. My idea is to have the ball be centered at the start, and only when it detects a collision from a player, then it will start to move, which is why I had placed this code inside if light bulb is equal to true. I will set the light bulb to true when the player collides with the ball. And I want the initial velocity to be 0, and only when the player collides with the ball starts moving. So this is how far I've gotten with the code. I have to work on it more, and if you look at the terminal, you'll notice a bunch of 1 there. And that's because I've set the function to off the ball. Hold on, let me show you where it is. Oh yeah, there it is. This is to check the winner, right? It doesn't work right now, but based on the collision of where the ball is hitting, whether it's on the left side or the right side, it will give a return of self-dot winner, which is either -1 or 1. Um, Clearly, this doesn't work right now already, and more importantly, just because of the collision of a right wall or a left wall shouldn't determine the winner. I have to like allocate a fixed area around, right? I only want to move this around this part, right? Only this part would be a goal, and only this part would be a goal, not the whole wall. And as you can see right now, when the ball isn't moving, because I've set the light ball to true, or sorry, false, um, the ball doesn't move, and the return function returns none right now. Yeah, I'm working on this code, and I think eventually I would like to make it to be so that when this player goes here, it detects this collision and it will give the ball a certain amount of velocity, so it can only move this direction. And based on the movement of the player around, the ball goes in the exact opposite direction. So if it's coming this way, then the ball should go left, and if it's going from top right to top down or bottom down, then the ball should also move that way. So yeah, a lot of work is still left to do, but this is what I've done so far. Thank you for watching. Next video, I'll probably complete this code. Yeah, stay tuned.